Good evening, everybody. I hereby call the regular meeting of the Administrative Appeals Board of September 25th, 2024 to order. My name is David Parker. I'm the Vice Chair of the board. Board Secretary, please conduct a roll call.
Board Member Hein? Here. Board Member Herman?
Present.
Board Member Stasek?
Present.
And Vice Chair Parker.
Here.
4 members present.
We don't need to say anything about the absentees.
No.
Okay. Our next item is the acceptance of the agenda. The board can discuss and may amend the order of the agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion and a second for acceptance of the agenda.
Make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
Board Secretary, please take the vote.
Board Member Herman?
Aye.
Board Member Hein? Aye. Board Member Stasek?
Aye.
And Vice Chair Parker.
Aye.
Passes 4-0.
The next item is public comment. This time has been set aside for members of the public to address the board on items of general interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. 3 minutes will be assigned to each speaker. Although the board values your comments pursuant to the Brown Act, the board generally cannot take any action on items not listed on the posted agenda. Testimony for hearings will only be taken at the time of the actual hearing. Board Secretary, please begin the public comment period.
We have no public commenters at this time.
Master. Okay. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the appeal of administration citation A8264 concerning the property at 1344 South Trail Drive. It's an appeal of the $500 administrative decision and 2-year suspension of the vacation rental certificate. Board Secretary, please ensure that city staff and the appellant understand their testimony is under oath.
We do have signed affidavits from city staff and appellant if in person. Anyone on Zoom who desires to testify under this appeal hearing under the laws of perjury, if you choose to speak, you hereby accept and acknowledge that your testimony shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Good.
Thank you. Staff, please proceed with your report.
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair, board members, city staff, public joining us this evening. My name is Patrick Clifford with the Department of Special Program Compliance. We oversee the vacation rental program here in the city of Palm Springs. Before you this evening is a staff report for the property located at 1344 South Farrell Drive. Some background: this property was issued a vacation rental.
Yes, we are.
Excuse me, this property was issued a vacation rental certificate with a start date of March 16, 2022. This certificate was revoked on August 8, 2024. Staff has found the property in violation of Palm Springs Municipal Code 525-090, whereupon the third violation in any 12-month period, the city manager shall suspend the vacation rental certificate for 3 years. Included in your staff report is a brief of each of the 3 citations that were issued. The citation on appeal tonight is citation A8264 for a violation of Palm Springs Municipal Code 525-070C, where it states that advertising and or renting 1 or more vacation rentals as part of a cluster or compound is prohibited. Our vacation rental ordinance does define what cluster or compound is as follows. Cluster or compound means any 2 or more vacation rentals that operate on a unified or shared basis, where residents of such vacation rentals have exclusive access to more than 1 vacation rental and or the facilities of such vacation rentals, including by way of example, a swimming pool, tennis court, or cooking facility. The code officer that investigated the property and issued the citation is here to provide further testimony of the findings and the issuance of the citation, and I'd like to ask Officer Whitaker to the table to present. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board, my fellow city staff, and members of the public present for this evening's hearing. My name is Jason Whitaker, and I'm a code compliance officer for the city of Palm Springs. On Monday, May 13th, 2024, I conducted an online search of Airbnb.com and VRBO.com listings related to the property at 1344 South Farrell Drive. The investigation followed my response to an active nuisance complaint about the property on Saturday, May 11th, 2024, while I was the on-call official for vacation rental issues. During my conversation with the responsible renter, they mentioned that they had booked this property along with the neighboring property immediately to the north at 1322 South Farrell Drive, which they noted were advertised together online. I was able to locate the reference advertisement on both the Airbnb.com booking platform as well as the VRBO.com booking platform, which can be found in attachment number 6, pages 59 through 62 of the staff report. In each of these two advertisements, both properties were featured together, offering up to 16 plus overnight guests with 8 total bedrooms made available between the two houses combined. The advertisements also listed both city ID numbers assigned to each property, which can be referenced in attachment number 5, pages 41 and 45 of the staff report. As defined in our city's vacation rental ordinance, term cluster or compound means any 2 or more vacation rentals that operate on a unified or shared basis, where residents of such vacation rentals have exclusive access to more than one vacation rental and or the facilities of such vacation rentals, including, by way of example, a swimming pool, tennis court, or cooking facilities. As described in the main property details section of the Airbnb advertisement posted by APEC Rentals, which can be found in the staff report on page 41, the Ritz and Blush are offered as a quote unique Airbnb offering, 2 stunning houses for the price of one, nestled in the heart of beautiful Palm Springs, California. These neighboring properties, the Blush and Ritz, combine to offer you an unparalleled vacation experience, unquote. The advertisement clearly indicates that these individually registered vacation rental properties are being advertised and rented as part of a cluster or compound, which per PSMC 5.25.070C is prohibited. As a result of my findings, I issued administrative citation A8264 to the property owner on file for being in violation of Palm Springs Municipal Codes 5.25.070C. So that will conclude my testimony. I'm available for any questions.
Are there any questions from the board? No? Good. I'm sorry, we can't speak.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
A little late on the update. So what we're considering right now is 1 citation against 1 property. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
Is there has the city issued citations found in violation of 525.030 before regarding clusters or compounds, or is that a first for the city?
You mean for 5.25.070C? I just
Guess I'm
wanted,
looking at the definition.
no, it's okay. I just wanted to
But
make sure
yes,
that that's.
yes, that's the one.
You're asking if this was the first time that we've issued a citation for such a violation?
Yeah, I'm just curious as to
No.
whether that is an unusual violation in Palm Springs?
Not an unusual violation. We've issued other citations for the same violation to other properties.
And in those other cases, have you issued a citation against just one?
No, they both properties that are being advertised together are both in violation. So essentially, yes, they're both issued a citation.
But again, we're just considering the one property here now,
Yes.
Thank you.
nothing else.
I just want to tag on to what she just said. Sorry. You said both properties, but then we're only considering one, I think we're considering one violation, but on 2 properties. Is that correct?
Just to clarify, so this citation was issued to this specific property. A second citation may have been issued to the other property that's in question. The reason why this property is before you this evening is because this was a third citation for this specific property, which generated a suspension, which then
Okay.
the other property, if it was issued a citation, it might have been their first, and that would go through a different appeals process because it's not related to a suspension.
Thank you for the clarity. All right. And I have another question, Jason. So I'm trying to remember the beginning of your testimony. Were all 3 violations all the result of the yes on 511? Like it started with the number of vehicles, I believe. Did I have that
So,
right?
yes, so the first violation was for the number of vehicles exceeding number of bedrooms. And then during our comprehensive search of our database for contract summary submissions, there were none for this particular guest stay. So then an audit was conducted on the property and their utilization. And then the third citation happened to be for what's being appealed this evening.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I don't know if this is for you or for Patrick, is the ordinance, the way that it's written? Is this only on separate lots? So if somebody has let's say a home and an ADU and they put both of them on Airbnb, is that considered a compound, or how does that work?
Chair Booker, I would remind the board that at this time, the questions that are directed at staff should be aimed at ascertaining factual information as to the violation. If you have legal questions or definitions, when the board gets to deliberation, I'd be happy to assist.
Thank you. Thanks for the reminder. Okay, no further questions. Anybody else?
I do have a question. On the first citation on May 11th with too many vehicles, we know that Farrell is a busy road. How were we able to provide proof that all those vehicles were registered at that house? And that not some of those cars were maybe visiting neighbors or things of that nature?
Sure, so we provide a comprehensive investigation into any and all vacation rental calls that we get, complaints, because yes, writing a citation for $500 to a guest is quite a lot of money for people. So we do have to make sure that we do our due diligence in our investigation, and in this particular case, I was speaking with the guests at the front door. They confirmed that all vehicles were associated with that property. And furthermore, I observed or witnessed two different parties get into the two vehicles that were parked in the street, and they were leading that property, the property in question that was cited. So those vehicles were associated with that property.
So the guests admitted that they had too many vehicles?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
yes, you're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay. At this time, I would like to open the appeal hearing. The appellant is invited to speak for up to 10 minutes. Any members of the public who desire to speak on this appeal hearing shall have up to 3 minutes to speak. If any member of the public testifies, the appellant will be invited to provide a rebuttal for up to 2 additional minutes. The appellant here?
Joshua Gilbert did advise that he was going to be in person, however, I do not see him and there's nobody on Zoom for this hearing.
Okay. Mr. Gilbert, are you online?
So in order to be on Zoom, you have to register and get the Zoom
Okay,
credentials,
okay.
which he did not. I emailed all the appellants inquiring if they're gonna be in person or on Zoom, and on September 11th, he advised I will be joining in person.
Okay.
We don't know if we hear the case without him or what the.
Abe, what's your counsel?
The board may proceed with the hearing. The board may also opt to continue it. As a matter of process, it's clear that the appellant had actual notice of the hearing, so I'm not concerned with any due process concerns in that regard. So if you choose to continue the hearing, I think that's perfectly fine. But you do have the option to continue.
Do we have to make a motion to do that, or do we just move on?
If the board opts to continue the item, yes, you would need a motion, and I would advise that you would close the public hearing, you close the public hearing.
So do that first. Okay, the public hearing is closed.
Sorry, Chair Parker, first, please, if you have a motion to continue the item, hear that first, because you need concurrence from the rest of the
Thank you.
board, before you can choose to do that, and at that point, we can close the public hearing. I apologize.
No, thank you. Anybody want to make a motion like that? Or hear the case?
I don't know if I'm saying this out of turn, I would kind of like to hear from the appellant. I know he's not here, maybe there was an emergency or something, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, are you making a motion?
I would like to make a motion to defer this to the next meeting so that we can give the appellant an opportunity to come to the next meeting, because maybe there was some extenuating circumstances that he was not able to make it to this meeting that we're not aware of.
Okay. Any second? So there's no seconds, we're not voting on the motion. Correct.
Correct. There is no second, the motion doesn't proceed if fails. Then you would need, then you would continue the hearing as scheduled.
Okay. Alright.
Unless there's a separate motion that someone would like to.
Okay. So now we can move on to this discussion, right? Public hearing is closed.
No, you would continue to, you have the public hearing open, just ensure that there's no public testimony. It sounds like the appellant is still not here, and just ensure that there's no public testimony, and then continue the hearing as such.
Okay.
Alternatively, the board may consider, deferring the item to the end of the meeting. That may be something that the board might want to entertain to see if perhaps the appellant, arrives.
So moved.
That's good.
Okay, thank you.
Any second to that motion? I'll second.
And just to clarify, the board's motion is to defer the item to the end of the public hearing section, not the whole agenda.
Right. Board Secretary?
Board Member Hein,
Aye.
Board Member Sasek.
Aye.
Board Member Herman,
Aye.
Vice Chair Parker.
Aye.
It passes 4-0 to be deferred to the end of the public hearings.
Thank you. Council, thank you for your counsel. Okay, next item on the agenda is item number 5. Concerning the property at 2860 North Los Feliz Road, number 109. It's an appeal of the $5,000 fine and administrative decision that Erica Bosco is permanently ineligible to operate a vacation rental in the city of Palm Springs. Board Secretary, please ensure the city staff and appellant understand that their testimony is under oath.
We do have signed affidavits from the city staff in person. Anyone on Zoom who desires to testify under this appeal hearing, under the laws of perjury, if you choose to speak, you hereby accept and acknowledge that your testimony shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Staff, please present your report.
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Vice Chair, board members, city staff, public joining us this evening. My name is Patrick Quickly with the Department of Special Program Compliance, and we oversee the vacation rental program here in the city of Palm Springs. Before you this evening is staff report for the property located at 2860 North Los Felices Road, unit number 109. Staff has determined that this property did operate as a vacation rental without a valid vacation rental certificate. The elements that led to the issuance of the citation are included in your staff reports, for numbers 1 through 4. Additionally, the code compliance officer that investigated the property and issued the citation is here this evening, and I would like to invite Code Officer Whitaker to the table to provide further testimony. Thank you.
Good evening, Jason Whitaker, City of Palm Springs Code Compliance. On Sunday, June 30th, 2024, while conducting a review of available rental listings on the web-based booking platform vrbo.com, I discovered an advertisement in the Palm Springs Villas condominium community of Palm Springs titled Palm Spring Condo 3 miles from downtown and to the breathtaking aerial tramway, which can be found in attachment number 5 of the staff report. While reviewing the advertisement, it stated that the 1-bedroom condo was being offered for up to 4 guests with no minimum night booking requirement on the booking calendar. I was unable to find a city ID number on the advertisement as required for a registered vacation rental property, so I reviewed the photos contained within the ad. And I was positively able to identify the address as 2860 North Los Felices Road, Unit 109. Upon review of the city's vacation rental registration records, I confirmed that the property identified did not hold a vacation rental registration certificate. And I'm also aware that the HOA of this community does not allow short-term rentals. I then sent a message on June 30th, 2024 via the vrbo.com contact host feature, which can be found in attachment number 6 of the staff report, inquiring about a 7-night stay with an arrival date of August 6th, 2024 and a departure date of August 13th, 2024. My message stated, "Hi, how far is the airport from your place? We're flying into Palm Springs in August for a stay between August 6th and August 13th. Thanks." After not receiving a response the same day, I sent the following additional message the next day. "Hi, just checking to see if you received my first inquiry." I then received a response from the host of the advertisement, Erica, in which she stated, "Dear Joey L., thanks for your inquiry about my vacation rental. The property is available from August 6th, 2024 to August 13th, 2024, and I'd like to invite you to stay. You are pre-approved to book, so you will automatically be confirmed if you make a payment. The property will then be booked for your requested dates. If you have any further questions, just let me know. Thank you, Erica Vasco, mate." Subsequently, after receiving this message, I was sent a payment request for the amount of $1,339.50 for a 7-night stay between the dates of August 6th through August 13th, 2024. This information can be found in attachment number 6 of the staff report. In my investigation of this property, I uncovered further evidence through guest reviews from its vrbo.com listing, which indicate the occurrence of short-term stays. These reviews are detailed in attachment number 5, pages 38 through 41 of the staff report. Notably, there was a 19-night stay in April of 2023, as well as a 3-night stay in April of 2024. As a result of my findings contained in the advertisement, the host responses to my inquiry, as well as the host invitation to book a 7-night stay, I found that the property located at 2860 North Los Felices Road, Unit 109, was in violation of PSMC 5.25.040A, operating a vacation rental without a vacation rental registration certificate, and I issued administrative citation number AB 0728 to the property owner on title. This will conclude my testimony, and I'm available for any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Officer Whitaker. Any questions from the board? City? Looks like we have no questions. Thank you. At this time, I would like to open the appeal hearing. The appellant is invited to speak for up to 10 minutes. Any members of the public who desire to speak on this appeal hearing shall have up to 3 minutes to speak. If any member of the public testifies, the appellant will be invited to provide a rebuttal for up to 2 additional minutes. Is the appellant here?
Erica Vasco. And can you also grab one of the blue forms for you to fill out, please? Yes. Go to speak, just press the button.
Should we fill it out first or we get it?
She needs to, yeah, can you fill that out, please, before the appeal hearing, just with your name, and then you can just sign it at the bottom. Just stating that your testimony is the truth.
Welcome. Appellant, could you please push the button on your mic and go ahead and state your name for the record?
My name is Erica Vasco Mate.
Thank you. You begin your time right now.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for your time, giving me an opportunity, speak on my behalf. Unfortunately, when I talked to the LBMB, I'm sorry, VRBO, I was not, informed right. They said I can start to advertise the condominium and then get a license from the city. I don't live in this area. I drove here actually 160 miles. I want to be in person because it's so new to me. So learning experience. And unfortunately, I'm not here to get sympathy from anybody. Recently, I lost two of my sisters, and I'm a nurse, so I take care of the public. But when it comes to your own, it's very difficult. So as I went through, I learned, and I actually download the application from the city, and I was a process to get some more information and then get permit, but lives fall apart. So that very busy taking care of situation with my sisters, one in New York, and couldn't make it. Say goodbye to her. She's a travel nurse, and then my other sister in Hungary. And I went to visit them. So again, I'm not here to get sympathy from anybody. They take the time to drive here over 2 hours, and I do have to take responsibility for my mistake. There is a mistake, so I'm learning the process in here. I do find this fine very harsh. I'm a breadwinner for my family. I'm here to come here by myself because I don't have any family here, and my husband is handicapped. So this financial is a big burden on me because I support my extended family in Hungary and paying for funeral and other expenses. So yeah, I'm listening to everybody here, and along the way, I learned a lot. So when I first find out what had happened, I immediately took up the VRBO. I canceled it out. This never can happen. Plus, I guess additionally to the harsh punishment that is permanently, I understand, canceled out, that I ever can proceed with the paperwork to receive a permitting Palm Spring. So I'd like to just sell the property. I know there's a lot of people needed help. Their house burned down, and I know what that means because I lost the house 6 years ago in a Lucy fire, and they wanted this place available for people who very much needed the housing. And I seen some advertisement on VRBO that they're looking for places when they don't have anywhere to live. So that was a good intention, but it didn't turn out right because it's a knowledge deficit on my part, and the way I was informed from the VRBO, you can go ahead and start to advertise and you can get the license long. You have to many months because it takes some to you can apply it later. So that's all I have to say. Anybody has any question, please?
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Questions from the board?
That's a question. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you very much.
And
Your mic.
is it Vasco Mate?
Yes.
Laura,
Your
your
mic.
mic.
Sorry. Ms. Vasco Mate, again, I am so very sorry for everything you've been through.
Thank you.
How long have you owned the condo that we're talking about?
How long I have met? How long?
How long have you owned it?
It's since 2005.
Okay.
was a escape for me, sometimes to come here for my heavy duty work as a nurse. So this is just fairly new that maybe.
When did you first, sorry, when did you first list your property with VRBO?
When did I start that? I called them end of the 2023. I called them when I tried to get some information. It's a slow process with them too.
The VRBO listing for you indicates that you had, I guess, there for a few days in May of 2023. Were you on VRBO in May of 2023?
I have some friends who came and used the home.
You have
Some
friends
friends, yeah,
who came,
yes.
but you were listed with VRBO at that time.
I don't honestly, since what happened, so many things happened, I can't recall it when was the first time this property was listed. I can recall it. I would have to call them honestly to answer the question. Because everything is scattered.
Okay, so you're just not sure when you listed the property with VRBO, okay. Thank you.
But it's sometimes 2023, I know I talked to them first time. I would think it's toward end of the year, but I can't recall exactly. And also, I think the homeowner, they have other properties there, they listed with VRBO, I seen that, or other company. So I'm not sure
That
about
leads,
the HOA.
yeah, that leads into my next question, or my question, which was, so are you aware that your HOA does not allow short-term rentals?
No, I'm absolutely not aware of it because
Yeah.
bought it long time ago, but I do understand and I know for a fact that there's other property in the same complex. It's listed with a, I think Airbnb or both.
They can do long-term leases, so 29 days or longer, but they can't do short-term rentals without HOA approval and a permit from the city.
Yeah,
The certificate.
I'm not aware of this, this is what is new to me.
How many bookings did you have before you received the violation?
I have friends coming there and using the place. I guess they wrote some or satisfied they were. I think probably 2 people
Okay,
for short term.
yeah, because as the you heard the testimony from the city, there was really actually a very nice review written in April of 2023 about their short-term visit before all of the personal things started happening in your life. So I'm just wondering why you didn't think to look then.
These are
Research them.
friends who are came in. They are friends. They were just friends, stayed over there.
Okay, but in order for them to write a review, the ad was up on VRBO.
Yeah, they wrote a review that they satisfied for
Okay,
the stay.
okay, I don't have any other questions. Anybody else?
Just a quick question. Was I, could be incorrect, was I correct to understand that, once you received the violation, you had canceled your account with VRBO? Or?
Immediately the same day.
Okay.
And you can look it up. It's not listed. It was exactly the same day I received that letter.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay. We will now close the public hearing. I'd like to open this up for discussion and or additional comments from the board. One of the things I just wanted to mention too, this is the time for all of us to surface our what we're feeling, what we're maybe what we're meaning into. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to confirm, that there's no other public testimony.
Thank you.
before proceeding.
This is why I'm the vice chair.
Just read the script.
I skipped over it. I'm sorry, I didn't even see that.
Just read the script.
Okay. Board Secretary, are there any public comments?
There are no public commenters.
Now we'd like to close the public hearing and open it up for discussion. And what I was starting to say is, this is the time where we want to surface all of our positions, if you will, and what some discussion that one of you may have, I may have a nugget that I didn't think about, which would be important. So we will start the discussion. Who wants to go first? Well, my mic's open, I'll go first. I think we could probably all sympathize with the appellant's situation and what she's been through. I think the unfortunate thing for us with the strict liability clause to this, to the code is, did a violation occur, yes or no? And did the city handle it, appropriately? It seems to me like they did. Seems to me like a violation did occur. The fact that there's a review from back in April indicates to me that the property was being advertised as a short-term rental back a year ago, April. So I don't think there's much we can do here.
I would have to agree with you. I think this is a very difficult situation and this board encounters those frequently, unfortunately. And the hardships are difficult and there's no lack of sympathy on this board. Unfortunately, we have effectively no discretion when it comes to enforcing what is already a very strict ordinance. So I really don't see any wiggle room here. And as much as I'm sympathetic for your position, I would vote in favor of affirming the citation.
Steve?
I agree with what you both said.
I'll ask a question that might expose how green I am on this board, but it's a genuine question, I don't know. Is there wiggle room or precedent to have a lower fine? Would be my question, and I suspect what the answer is, but
We're gonna let the wise counsel answer that, but I suspect I know the answer.
There is not, so to clarify, the board's role is to determine whether a violation occurred or not. As a matter of fact or law, if the board determines that there was a violation, then the board, it should uphold the violation, and unfortunately, or, just as a matter of fact, the code does not allow the board to, provide leniency as to the fine or the penalty, when it upholds a violation. Of course, the board can determine, if it determines that there was no violation, then it would just simply deny the violation, but yeah, you cannot bifurcate or alleviate, any of the associated penalties or fines where you find that it has been a violation.
understood, thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to uphold the violation.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Board Secretary, please call the roll.
Board Member Herman,
Aye.
Board Member Hein,
Aye.
Board Member Stasek.
Aye.
Vice Chair Parker,
Aye.
motion carries 4-0 to adopt the resolution upholding the administrative decision.
Ms. Bosco, as you heard, the violation was upheld by the board. The city will be in touch with you in terms of next steps on the phone. Thank you for your time.
Sorry, I did forget, I heard, is it any way that the fine can be, lower, please?
No, there isn't. No, it's very strict.
Also, do we need to mention that she is allowed to do
Yes,
not
please.
short-term rentals? You can rent your property for a long-term rental. That is allowed.
Yeah, I told the city here and they informed me about that when I received the paper.
Thank you for your
Thank you
time.
very much.
Thank you.
I can leave now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next is item 7 concerning the property at 2055 North Magnolia Road. It's an appeal of the $5,000 and $10,000 fines and the administrative decision that Robert Aslayan, I'm not sure if I said that right, and Svetlana Nadirian is permanently ineligible to operate a vacation rental in the city of Palm Springs. Board Secretary, please ensure the city staff and appellant understand their testimony is under oath.
Vice Chair Booker, sorry to interrupt.
You skipped one.
I went right over to next.
We're number 6. I was like, that isn't it.
Way to chime right in, okay.
Let's try that again.
We'll try this again.
Thought I couldn't read for a second.
Next is item 6, concerning the property at 1673 South Via Salida. It's an appeal of the $5,000 fine and administrative decision that Taryn Manning is permanently ineligible to operate a vacation rental in the city of Palm Springs. Board Secretary, please ensure that the city staff and appellant understand that their testimony is under oath.
We do have signed affidavits from city staff and the appellant is in person. Anyone on Zoom who desires to testify under this appeal hearing, under the laws of perjury, if you choose to speak, you hereby accept and acknowledge that your testimony shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you. Staff, please present your report.
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Vice Chair, board members, city staff, public joining us this evening. My name is Patrick Clifford with the Department of Special Program Compliance, and we oversee the vacation rental program here in the city of Palm Springs. Before you is a staff report for the property located at 1673 South Via Salida. It was found that this property was advertised and operating as an unregistered home share without a valid vacation rental certificate. The findings that led to the issuance of the citation are included in your staff report as items 1, 2, 3, and 4. Unfortunately, the code officer that issued the administrative citation is out sick this evening, so Code Supervisor Nat Hand is here this evening to provide the testimony and findings for this citation. And I would like to invite Code Supervisor Nat Hand to the table to provide such evidence and testimony. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board, my fellow city staff, and members of the public with us for tonight's hearing. My name is Mitch Nabhan, and I'm the code compliance supervisor for the city of Palm Springs. Among other things, I manage the administration of the city's vacation rental enforcement program. On May 27th, 2024, while conducting a review of available rental listings on the web-based booking platform Airbnb.com, Code Officer Jay Gonzalez came across an advertisement in the Tacos River Estates neighborhood titled Desert Getaway with Saltwater Pool, which can be found as attachment number 5, beginning on page 25 in the staff report. While reviewing the advertisement, it stated that a room in a home was being offered for short-term stays with no listed minimum night stay requirement, meaning this room was available to be booked for as short as 1 night. Officer Gonzalez was unable to find the city ID number listed as required for a registered vacation rental or home share interest property, so he reviewed the photos contained within the ad and was able to positively identify the property address at 1673 Via Salida. Upon review of the city's vacation rental registration records, it was confirmed that the property identified did not hold a vacation rental or home share registration certificate. For those unfamiliar, the city defines a home share interest as a portion of an owner's home that is subject to home sharing, as provided in this chapter. Home sharing is defined as an activity whereby the owner hosts visitors in the owner's home for compensation for periods of 28 consecutive days or less, while the owner lives on site and in the home throughout the visitor's stay. Officer Gonzalez then sent a message via the Airbnb.com contact host feature inquiring about a 2-night stay in June. The message was, hello, I was looking to book for a few days in June, 6/7 through 6/9, and was wondering about how far this was from downtown. The host, Gail, responded to Officer Gonzalez's inquiry with the following unique response. Hey there, it's about 3 minutes from downtown. I'd love to have you, however, I am hesitant to approve based on your new profile and no photos and reviews. Officer Gonzalez responded back, I understand, usually I use hotels, but for this trip, my wife and I heard that Airbnb was the way to go. This would be the first time we've booked with Airbnb. To which Gail subsequently responded with an invitation to book a requested short-term stay of 2 nights, June 7th to June 9th, for a total of $673. This exchange is included in the staff reports attachment number 6, beginning on page 37. As a result of Officer Gonzalez's findings contained within the advertisement, the unique response to his inquiry, as well as the invitation to book the requested 2-night stay, we found the property located at 1673 Via Salida in violation of PSMC 525-040A, operating a home share interest without a registration certificate, and issued citation AE 0720 to the property owner on title, Terry Manning. In response to the notice of violation letter that was sent on June 14th, 2024, I received a call from the appellant, Taryn Manning. They acknowledged receipt of the citation and accompanying letter and had some related follow-up questions. Throughout the course of our phone conversation, Ms. Manning confirmed that the Airbnb advertisement found belonged to them, and they had been using it to facilitate rentals under the listed host profile named Gail. We then discussed details related to the city's vacation rental and home share program to educate Ms. Manning on the rules, regulations, and licensing requirements for property owners who wish to participate. We also discussed the city's enforcement practices and regulations in place for those who are found in violation or otherwise operating outside of the city's regulated program. Ms. Manning acknowledged that after receiving the letter, they took action to correct the violation by removing the ad. At the time of Officer Gonzalez's investigation, while the host profile shows that they've received 26 total reviews as both a host and a guest, this particular property in question had 2 reviews attributed to it, one from April 2022 and one from May 2024, both of which are indicative of short-term stays, referencing page 32 of your staff report. You can see that the review left from Shiyu states that they stayed at the Via Salida property 1 night. That will conclude what I have to present, so I'll hand it back over to Patrick, but I am available to answer any questions that the board may have.
Patrick, anything else?
Nothing further, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Doesn't sound like it. Thank you. Thank you, Mitch. Okay, at this time, I would like to open the appeal hearing. The appellant is invited to speak for up to 10 minutes. Any members of the public who desire to speak on this appeal hearing shall have up to 3 minutes to speak. If any member of the public testifies, the appellant will be invited to provide a rebuttal for up to 2 minutes. Is the appellant here?
Yeah.
Come on up.
Can you fill out one of those blue forms?
Yeah, I did.
There's oh, perfect. Do you want to pass?
You want to pass it, she forgot to send it. I have to send it. If you want to pass it.
I don't feel small.
Appellant, please state your name for the record and you can begin your time.
Hi, my name is, do I push? Yeah. Hi, my name is Taryn Gail Manning, and thank you so much for this opportunity. You're right, I'm guilty of that. The thing is I split my time between New York City and Palm Springs. I've been going to Coachella since I was 19. I always wanted to live out here. I love this city. It's kind of known to be a vacation town, you know, it's a retirement community. I never in a million years thought that, that it would come down to these regulations. I remember when I bought my house, my real estate agent from Benyon and DeVille, he had 2 stacks of paper. One was to show me the value of all the home sharing I could make from buying the house, and then the other pamphlet was just pictures of the house before I purchased it. So I don't know, between the pandemic and just trying to like stay alive, and I'm an actor, and times are tough, but you can see on the document I gave you, can see it's one rental, and that was like May 2024, one in 2022, and then 6 in 2019, and the rest are all from New York City, where I did Airbnb there, and that's what a lot of those reviews are from, and basically, I'm just nervous, and I'm sorry, I love this city. Like I said, I started an acting academy here. I want to bring people here, I wanna respect the city, I respect, your decision more, I get it, it's a harsh fine. It's hard times money wise, but I understand, but I just wanted to, I see maybe you guys can consider. That I honestly didn't look up the regulation, that I didn't update myself, and I apologize.
Are you done?
I think so.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you.
That's all I got.
Questions from the board?
Oh, may I say one thing?
Sure.
It's my primary house, I don't really like to share with other people, but I was like out of town on movies or something.
Okay, thank you. You're done?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll stop the clock. Thank you. Questions?
I have a question. So Gail is your middle name,
Yeah.
you use it as your host name,
Mhm.
okay. It says on, attachment 6, page 25, which is from your Airbnb, ad. It says stay with Gail 6 years hosting. Have you been hosting on Airbnb for 6 years?
Well, New York, like New York City as well, so I've been participating on Airbnb.
Is this the only time then that you've, listed a Palm Springs property on Airbnb?
This is my only property, yeah.
Okay, and it's the only one?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have, thanks.
Jessica or Steve, questions? No, okay. I have a clarity question. The one that you highlighted in pink
Mhm.
is the subject property, right? Review from the subject property,
The what?
the pink one that
Yes.
you highlighted,
Yes.
that's Palm Springs.
Yeah, so when it says desert mountains, that's that one,
So all the yellows are your New York property.
correct.
Okay, that explains all that.
And the first one's Palm Springs, the one I did in 2024.
Okay,
And then the one I did in 2022 is in the pink, and then the green is 2018. It looks like 6.
okay. I don't have any other questions. No other questions? Anybody? Okay. Board Secretary, do we have any public comments?
No, we do not.
Thank you. We will now close the public hearing. Next, I'd like to open this up for discussion and or additional questions from the board. Steve, you get to go first.
Oh, this time.
How are you feeling? What's going on?
Unfortunately, there was no permit on file, unfortunately, and the city of Palm Springs is very strict in regards to that. And I know that you have a property in New York and a property in Palm Springs that you do Airbnb hosting, so I can see where the confusion came into effect. I can totally respect that. And you mentioned your real estate agent, Benny and DeVille, they're a very well-known real estate agency company here. And I just want you to know you're not the first person that has expressed that when you've purchased a property, that you were not informed of the rules and regulations for short-term rentals in Palm Springs. It is confusing, and I totally respect that.
Anybody else discussion? Okay, I would agree with what you said. It's unfortunate that the violation did occur. Yeah, may I entertain a motion?
I motion to uphold the violation.
Second. Board Secretary, please take the roll.
Board Member Herman.
Aye.
Board Member Stasek.
Aye.
Board Member Hein.
Aye.
Vice Chair Parker.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0 to adopt the resolution upholding the administrative decision.
So Ms. Manning, the city will be in touch with you in terms of next steps. Okay, thank you for your time today.
Thanks.
And please remember, you can rent your home on a long-term rental.
Yeah.
You're allowed to do that without any type of.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, all right,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
the formal.
Next is really number 7 on the agenda. And number 7 is concerning the property at 2055 North Magnolia Road. It's again, an appeal of the $5,000 and $10,000 fines. And administrative decision that Robert Aslanian and Svetlana Nadirian is permanently ineligible to operate a vacation rental in the city of Palm Springs. Board Secretary, please ensure the city staff and appellant understand their testimony is under oath.
We do have signed affidavits from the city staff in person. The appellant is on Zoom. If you desire to testify under this appeal hearing, under the laws of perjury, if you choose to speak, you hereby accept and acknowledge that your testimony shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you. Staff, please present your report.
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Vice Chair, board members, city staff, public joining us this evening. My name is Patrick Clifford with the Department of Special Program Compliance. We oversee the vacation rental program here in the city of Palm Springs. Before you this evening is a staff report for the property located at 2055 North Magnolia Road. It was found that this property was advertised and operated as a vacation rental without a valid vacation rental certificate. Before going in a little bit more, this staff report is a little different than the previous staff reports. As far as the recommendations from staff for you this evening is to adopt 2 resolutions. The first resolution is for administration citation AB 0686 in the amount of $5,000 and an administrative citation AB 0717 issued in the amount of $10,000. The first citation in the amount of $5,000 that was for by the first violation found by Code Officer Gonzalez, who unfortunately is not able to attend this evening. So Code Supervisor Nabhan will provide information relating to that. The second citation issued for an amount of $10,000 was for a second violation that was found. That was issued by Code Officer Whitaker, who is here this evening to provide testimony with that. So in your staff report, you will see an analysis for both citations, AB 0686 and AB 0717. And in the staff report, it does give the elements that led to the issuance of both respective citations. So for the first citation, AB 0686, I will ask that Code Supervisor Nabhan come to the table to provide testimony for that citation. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board, my fellow city staff, and members of the public with us for tonight's hearing. My name is Mitch Nabhan. I'm the Code Compliance Supervisor for the city of Palm Springs. I manage the administration of the city's vacation rental enforcement program. On February 25th, 2024, while conducting a review of available rental listings on the web-based booking platform Airbnb.com, Officer Jake Gonzalez came across an advertisement in the Ranch Palisades neighborhood titled Palm Springs Luxury Rental, which can be found as attachment number 5 in the staff report, beginning on page 27. While reviewing the advertisement, it stated that the entire home was being offered for a short-term stay with a minimum night stay for 2 nights. Officer Gonzalez was unable to find the city ID number listed as required for a registered vacation rental property. So he reviewed the photos contained within the ad and was able to positively identify the property address as 2055 North Magnolia Road. Upon review of the city's vacation rental registration records, it was confirmed that the property identified did not hold a vacation rental registration certificate. Officer Gonzalez then sent a message via the Airbnb.com contact host feature inquiring about a week-long stay in March. The message was, hello, I was looking to book for about a week in March, 3/24 through 3/30, and was wondering about how far this was from downtown. The host, Sveta, responded to his inquiry with the following unique response. 2055 North Magnolia Road, this is address. Location is perfect, everything near. Officer Gonzalez responded back, oh perfect, is it still available? To which Sveta responded yes, and subsequently sent an invitation to book the requested short-term stay of 6 nights, arriving March 24th and departing March 30th for a total of $3,195.30. This exchange is included in the staff report on page 40 as attachment number 6. For those unfamiliar with our city's vacation rental ordinance, our city's definition of operation of a vacation rental as applied in chapter 525 includes but is not limited to any one or more of the following. Advertisement of the property means on any web-based advertising hosting platform, print media, bulletin, signage, radio, and television, or on any other medium for the purposes of promoting interest in, testing the market for, or soliciting the occupancy of a property for a period of 28 consecutive days or less. An owner, agent, or other representative of the owner has an interest in rental, exchange, trade, gift, or grant of a guest stay at a property of less than 28 consecutive days or less, or an owner, agent, or any other representative of the owner interacts with another party, whether directly or indirectly through personal or digital electronic contact, with the intent to provide availability of the property for occupancy of 28 days or less, or to complete a rental and or reservation of the property for future occupancy of 28 days or less. As a result of Officer Gonzalez's findings contained within the advertisement, which was promoting interest in and soliciting the occupancy of the property for a period of 28 consecutive days or less, the unique response to his inquiry, as well as the invitation to book the requested 6-night stay, demonstrating intent to provide availability of the property for occupancy of 28 days or less, we found the property located at 2055 North Magnolia Road in violation of PSMC 525-040A, operating a vacation rental without a vacation rental registration certificate, and issued citation AB 0686 to the property owner on title. In response to the notice of violation letter sent on March 22nd, 2024, I received a call from the appellant on or around April 23rd, 2024, Svetlana Nadirian. They acknowledged receipt of the citation and accompanying letter and had some related follow-up questions. Throughout the course of our phone conversation, Ms. Nadirian confirmed that the Airbnb advertisement found belonged to them and that they had been using it to facilitate rentals under the listed host profile name Sveta. We then discussed details related to the city's vacation rental program to educate Ms. Nadirian on the rules, regulations, and licensing requirements for property owners who wish to participate. We also discussed the city's enforcement practices and regulations in place for those who are found in violation or otherwise operating outside of the city's regulated program. Ms. Nadirian acknowledged that after our discussion, they would be taking action to correct the violation by updating the settings of their ad to reflect availability for long-term stays only. And again, that was towards the end of April in 2024. And the reason that these folks are calling me, if you notice in the letter that we send, my name and telephone number is specifically provided regardless of which code officer issues the citation as a point of reference for these folks who are receiving the citations to inquire if they have further questions or comments or concerns related to the citation. So I get a lot of these calls in follow-up from the actions that my officers take. So that'll conclude what I have to present. I'll hand it back over to Patrick, but I will be available to answer any questions the board may have. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Supervisor Nana. Before I ask Code Officer Whitaker to come for the second citation, would you guys, is it appropriate to ask if any questions to Nana first before going forward?
I think that would be acceptable. If you'd like to ask questions regarding the first violation, that's acceptable. It's kind of a unique scenario,
It is,
so.
yeah. Okay, so we can ask questions of the city of only the first violation
Yes, it would be.
at this time. Okay. Thank you. Questions from the board?
I have a question, and that is that the letter informing the homeowner of the first violation, according to the staff report, that was sent by certified mail, return receipt requested, and a return receipt was not received by the city. Is that correct?
When I did look up the tracking number for the certified mail that was sent, there was no confirmation of the receipt. It still showed in transit from USPS.
Okay,
That's the certified part.
but in any event, the homeowner responded with a telephone call. Is that my understanding? So we're comfortable that the homeowner received that first letter, even if we didn't receive a signed return receipt. Is that correct?
So we do know that, I do know that as part of the process, we do send a copy to the vacation rental address as well. I think from the testimony from Code Supervisor Navhan, he corrected me on the date that that phone conversation took place.
Sure, so as Patrick mentioned, as part of our process, we'll send a copy of the notice of violation letter and citation via certified mail to the mailing address on title. We will also send a copy of that uncertified just through regular mail to the physical address located in Palm Springs. If it turns out that the physical address in Palm Springs is the same as the mailing address on title, we send both a certified and uncertified copy to that same address to make every reasonable effort to ensure that we're noticing the owner. And then as far as acknowledgement of receipt of the notice, I received that call from SPECTA. I believe it was on April 23rd, 2024 in the afternoon. I received a couple calls.
And so I wanna make sure I have the chronology right. How many days after the letter went out did you receive the phone call?
Approximately 30 days. So the letter was issued March 22nd. It would have been placed in the mail on or immediately after March 22nd, which I believe is a Friday. And then again, I received confirmation from the property owner April 23rd. So maybe 32 days.
Well, for the first citation, it looks like the citation was issued,
22nd,
is that of March?
March 22nd.
Correct.
Yeah, March.
It's on page 21. Yes.
Okay, and do we have any documents that would indicate when that phone call occurred or what the contents were?
So it was received on my city desk line, so there's I was able just this afternoon to review my call logs. It goes back to as early as March. I believe, I don't know if the conversations are recorded. If they are, our IT department hasn't told me that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they are. But I believe that a call log history for the calls received and dialed out from my desk phone as well as my cell phone, my city issued cell phone, could be made available through our IT department.
Okay, but there's nothing in the staff report, any documentation of
We
that.
did not include that.
Okay. Thank you.
Other questions for the city? Was so the first violation was never paid, right? The fine was never paid.
So if I remember correctly, the resulting from the first violation that was issued, the appellant submitted an appeal.
This is the one. Yeah.
But it was originally on the books for June, and then I think it was rescheduled. If I remember correctly, because right around the same time was when the second violation was issued. I think at that point the appellant asked for a rescheduled date.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Questions? Okay. Do we now continue with the second one? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair. I would like to invite Ross Wade here to provide further testimony for the second citation issue. I do want to make a point. I just noticed that in the staff report, it does state incorrectly that for the second citation, that says the violation date was February 25th, 2024. I think that's duplicated from the paragraph above. The violation actually, which is listed correctly on the citation as attachment 7, page 48. You can see that the date of violation is actually June 8th, 2024. So my apologies of the duplication, but the date of violation for the second citation is June 8th, 2024. Thank you for this.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board, my fellow city staff and members of the public present for this evening's hearing. My name is Jason Whitaker and I'm a code compliance officer for the city of Palm Springs. On Friday, June 7th, 2024, while conducting a review of available rental listings on the web-based booking platform Airbnb.com, I discovered an advertisement in the Ranch Club Estates neighborhood of Palm Springs titled Palm Springs Luxury Rental, which can be found in attachment number 8 of the staff report. While reviewing the advertisement, it stated that the 5-bedroom home was being offered for up to 14 guests and no minimum night stay requirement per the booking calendar. I was unable to find a city ID number on the advertisement as required for a registered vacation rental property, so I reviewed the photos contained within the advertisement and I was able to positively identify the property address as 2055 North Magnolia Road. Upon review of the city's vacation rental registration records, I confirmed that the property identified did not hold a vacation rental registration certificate And also during this time, I was also able to confirm that this property had previously been issued administrative citation number AB 0686 on March 18th, 2024 by Code Compliance Officer Jacob Gonzalez for failure to register. I then sent a message on June 7th, 2024 via the Airbnb.com contact host feature, which can be found in attachment number 9 of the staff report, inquiring about a 4-night stay with an arrival date of August 15th, 2024 and a departure date of August 19th, 2024. My message stated, "Hello Sveta, we will be in town for a few days in August. Is your place near the airport? Thanks." Shortly after sending my message to the host, I received the following response. "Hi, yes it is." Subsequently, after receiving the response from the host, I was sent an invitation to book the property for the requested dates of August 15th through 19th, 2024. As a result of my findings contained within the advertisement, the host response to my inquiry, as well as the host invitation to book a 4-night stay, I found that the property located at 2055 North Magnolia Avenue was in violation of PSMC 5.25.040A, operating a vacation rental without a vacation rental registration certificate. And I issued administrative citation number AB 0717 to the property owners on title Svetlana Nadirian and Robert Eslanian for a second violation. This will conclude my testimony, and I'm available for any questions that you may have.
Questions for Jason? Thank you, Jason. At this time, I would like to open the appeal hearing. The appellant is invited to speak for up to 10 minutes. Any members of the public who desire to speak at this appeal hearing shall have up to 3 minutes to speak. If any members of the public testifies, the appellant will be invited to provide a rebuttal for up to 2 additional minutes. Appellant, please state your name for the record and you can begin your time.
It's my turn.
Yes, please go ahead. State
Hi,
your name. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Svetlana Nadirian. I want to make sure you'll hear me good.
We can hear you.
Okay. Okay. First of all, if it's okay, I will speak my first violation and then second one. I'm in Airbnb like most 4 years. I have apartment in Armenia, in Georgia. Hot Springs house, I had 8 years. We are coming there, we live there. We live there in COVID time. My family lived there. In 2023, my family, end of the year, my family had emergency situation and my husband must live like 1 year and have 3 boys. Two of my boys is bigger, one of them like 2 years. And I have a lot of, he evaluated for autism and I'm doing everything private for him and I'm paying a lot. One of my friends told me, "Are you in Airbnb business like 4 years? Why you don't give your Palm Springs house?" I say, I never, because my house is very good remodel. If I don't know who came and see it, I say, no, I don't want somebody come, all this I did. My friend told, you need money, you just need to do it. I think I need something on some paper. She told me just try, if Airbnb allowed you, you can. That was story beginning that I did. After that, I asked my friends, because I had Airbnb business 5 years, I asked my friends, just can you put some reviews good? Because everybody come and see good reviews, fake reviews. One time I try give rent, somebody who I don't know, try to make money, real. After that, in April, when I found a letter, first what I did, I found that I missed 30 days, I called him. I get very nice conversation. I get all my answers. I try to understand, can I pay money, which you like 5,000, but can you remove under my and my husband name? There is me and Robert never can for appeal for license. He told me, no, you can't or you can appeal whole or you can't. I say, thank you so much. I will not do this again. He told me, if you want, Lana, you can 29 days. but if no, you need to remove. I say, thank you, I will put 29 days. This is first violation. I was so like, I was like so surprised that I need like license, because why Airbnb allow me to book to put everything without license. And that is first part. I am like, I all agree with you. I did mistake that I put my house short rental. I will just give one time short rental. I make money one time. Just all reviews, all my friends. You can ask Airbnb. You can text them. This is first. I'm agree to pay my what you say. Just if any way you can remove under my and Robert's name that part, I will be so like happy, because as I'm in Airbnb business, maybe I will buy some house in Palm Springs, and I try to do that again. This is that part. What about second one? I'm not agree from first word till end. He's telling stories very short, and he's telling story what he wants to tell. Like, he don't tell the end. I sent all screenshots which I spoke. Just he read for you. Hello, Svetlana, we will be in town for a few days in August. Is your place near the airport? Thanks. I say, hi, yes, it is. And you have all that screenshot. Why that screenshot is cut, please? I have all screenshot that he has. Why that screenshot is cut? But I don't give short term. I answer him. After 1 month, again, hi, Lana, I want to book your house. I told, I'm not giving short term. And then I figure out, I have screenshot and I send you that I email Airbnb. I'm put 29 days. Why you allow people to book my house for 3 days? Airbnb told me, sorry, as you have 5 different apartments, maybe it's our settings problem. Sorry, and we will fix it. I sent our all conversation. It was June with Airbnb. Never ever, after first time I speak with officer, never ever I give my house. 3 times city come my house, knock my door, ask, are you rentals? My friends know. Please, if you rentals, just you need to. Never can anybody told he stay my house short and pay me. After I spoke with officer. Second one, he told me in letter, it shows your house booked August 23, 24, 26. Yes, it's not booked. It's just closed because my son's 10th birthday, and I closed that nobody can't book that month because it's no school. I was there and it's his birthday. I just mark calendar and nobody can't take for 1 month. I told first one, I call officer, he's nice. He explained me everything. I told I missed 3 days. He told me it's okay. You missed because you didn't get letter. Everything okay. You can appeal if you want. I told he explained me. Second one, I don't agree because all screenshot is like part which I answer him right like second. He cut the second part. And I promise you, if I have never had new property or this property, if I have never had license, I will not do this.
Are you done? Have you finished?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We'll open it up to the board for questions. Well, I'll start. Just for clarity's sake, Svetlana, I see in your appeal that you're only appealing the first one. Is that because?
I called him, I think, I don't remember name, sorry. I called the officer, I asked him, is it okay, I need to appeal twice? He told me no, and I emailed, he told me we will do it together.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. One last question from me. I saw the text messages that you submitted. I'm just curious as we saw in the staff report, as we see in the staff report, you actually, I think Jace was the name of the inquirer. You actually extended him an invitation to book. So why did you extend him the invitation to book if it wasn't your intent?
Okay, one more thing. Who knows Airbnb? Sometimes customer just putting one day, and if they have you question, they don't book. They just put one day, and they have questions you. They are giving their question. They figure out everything, and they fix dates. When he asked me question about airport, I didn't even watch, because when some people book directly and pay, you know what I mean? They don't wait my click, and they book, and I see your house booked. But he didn't book. He just put some day and he asked me questions. That's why I didn't told him like from 14, 15. When I ask, yes, it is near airport, then I answer him. But I don't give short term.
Correct, but before that, you invited him to stay, right? So in my
I
understanding.
didn't
there-
invite it. Everything that he put, like Svetlana, I invited you, everything is doing Airbnb. It's a automatically system, because like you have something buying from Amazon, putting your shopping cart, you are getting messages. You have something on your shopping cart. It's not Amazon shopper doing it. It's Amazon doing it. Like it's Airbnb invite him, like remembering that he wants to go past Springs. I didn't did it.
But it's my understanding that the owner, the person that placed the ad,
Yeah.
has to actually extend the invite through them in order to do it. In other words, you have to approve it for them to release the invitation.
If he wants to text me some question, he can pick any day which is open my calendar, and he asks me. As soon as he wants to book, I need to accept or no. And if you see my and Airbnb conversation, it shows that 29 days. And I ask Airbnb, why you allow people to put like 15? He told me, Svetlana, as you have 5 houses, maybe you're setting something wrong. But when you try to accept, it will not be acceptable, because your house is not acceptable for short days.
Looks like it did. Okay, thank you. So I guess it's your testimony then that when you get the invitation, when you got the inquiry, you're assuming Airbnb did their homework and you were just looking at the inquiry and saying, yes, okay, I'll accept you.
Yeah, but I didn't get inquiry. I just get text, which somebody asking you something.
Okay,
Inquiry when he's finished and he's ready to pay you.
okay. I don't have any other questions.
I have a question, Svetlana. Who has access to your Airbnb account to accept bookings?
Only me.
Only you.
Only me.
Okay, thank you.
It's 5 years almost.
Any other questions?
I just want a quick clarifying question. So that was gonna be my question. My question was the pre-approval message just above the June 8th message of, but I don't give short term. It says pre-approval sent 6 guests August 15th to the 19th. Am I correct to understand that you're saying that's automatic and Airbnb automatically sends that to the?
Everything that he getting, like, because I'm speaking with him, but as soon as he click that he want to pay me, that is a final stand that I can click yes or no. Before that, I'm not getting anything. Just I'm seeing that I have some message. I have some question from my guest.
Okay, thank you.
Like you can go now my calendar, find any day which is available. You click that day and ask me some questions. But as soon as you're ready to pay me, you book and I click, that's finished.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Board Secretary. Are there any public commenters?
There are not any public commenters.
Thank you. We will now close the public hearing. I'd like to open it up to the board for discussion and any additional questions. So, and counsel, I might need your counsel, I might need your counsel. So it's my understanding, her testimony was that she, was in agreement with the first one. She realized that she violated it. She understood that, was not in agreement with the second one.
I'm just,
Um,
for first one, I'm okay, if, I don't know, in your law, is it okay, like?
Thank you, but your time's up. That's
Oh,
why I
sorry.
asked you to be
Oh,
done.
sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We're discussing now, sorry. So it sounds like the one that she physically started the appeal of, she actually did have the violation. She, I think in her testimony, she wondered if she could still pay the fine, but remove the permanent ineligibility from, short-term rentals, ability to make short-term rentals. I'm hung up on the second one with the Airbnb thing. I don't know if you guys were able to read through that based on the dates that I saw between the actual staff report and then the text messages. But before I do that, here's my question to you. If we if the first one is permanent ineligibility, and if we find, if we uphold that citation, then the second one, permanent ineligibility doesn't matter, but the dollar amount would matter, correct? Do I have that
In,
in theory?
in practical sense, yes, that's correct. Technically, the legal effect of adopting the violation independently is that permanent eligibility will attach to either or both violations. The only manner in which I could see it that mattering is if, for example, the board were to uphold both and the appellant sues to overturn in court, one of the violations, right? Say the first one, but the court finds that the second one is still there, then there's permanent ineligibility regardless because it attaches to both. So you are adopting that penalty in both instances. The practical effect, if there isn't anything like that, is that yes, obviously you're just ineligible, given the first one already. But I do think that there is legal effect to it being attached to each violation independently of one another. If that makes sense. I'll try to.
No, I think it did. I'm just, so but we could uphold one and not the other, is what you're saying.
Yes, the board can uphold one or the other. So the board has before it two proposed resolutions. And the board should make a determination as to each violation
Okay.
in turn. So
Okay.
my recommendation to the board would be to entertain a motion regarding the first violation, which is the first resolution for this item. And then following that to hold
Entertain one for the second.
and then the motion for the second one.
Okay,
And that way the board can determine whether it wants to uphold each of the violations.
okay.
The effect, I think I know what the next question is gonna be, which is what would be the effect of not upholding the first one and upholding the second one? And essentially that would be the second one would be treated as a first violation. Or the city can, and if we get to that point, you could choose to continue the item to have the or to have the item brought back, or you can adopt the resolution with the revision that it would be a first violation and it would just be the $5,000 instead of $10,000.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to, I think, I agree with Dave that we should do two separate motions for the two separate citations, but I'd like to talk about both of
Yes,
them at once.
please, yes.
Because the facts are very different.
Uh-huh.
And the way I see it, the first one is kind of late, I mean.
Yeah.
The second one, I'm troubled by a couple things, and I have trouble sort of deciding what the facts are. When she responded by text that she doesn't do long-term or short-term rentals, and that was not in the staff report, I wish it had been, because I don't know that the result would be any different, but I feel kind of weird that we're not provided with the entire communication between the city and the homeowner. That's sort of an aside on my part, because I think ultimately she did rent it out, knowing that it was a short-term rental. I don't know the technical. I don't know how true it is that Airbnb somehow automatically sends out an invitation to book when someone pushes certain buttons. I have not heard that before, and it seems to me there's a little more power and authority in the homeowner than that to extend an
There
offer
is.
to book.
Yeah.
But that's my sort of life experience anyway. I find the second citation a little bit troubling. But ultimately, I see two violations here. The second one is tougher for me.
I'm in the same boat.
I agree. I feel the same way you guys do.
Agreed, that's really helpful.
Okay, so, let's talk about the first one. So can I entertain a motion for the first violation?
I make a motion to uphold the first violation of $5,000
And permanent ineligibility.
and permanent ineligibility.
Second,
Board Secretary, please take the roll.
Board Member Herman,
Aye.
Board Member Hein,
aye.
Board Member Stasek.
Aye.
Vice Chair Parker,
Aye,
the first resolution passes 4-0.
thank you. May I entertain a motion for the second violation? Or do we want any discussion before we do that? Or have we already sort of done it? I feel like we did. Any motion?
I'll move that we uphold the second citation. And the permanent suspension, is it called a permanent suspension?
Ineligibility.
Oh, permanent ineligibility and $10,000 fine.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Board Secretary, please take the roll or call the vote.
Board Member Hein,
Aye.
Board Member Stasek.
Aye.
Board Member Herman,
Aye.
Vice Chair Parker.
Nay.
The second resolution is upheld to a 3-1 vote, upholding both resolutions.
Svetlana, thank you. The citation has been upheld. The city will be in touch with you. Both citations have been upheld. The city will be in touch with you in terms of next steps. Thank you for your time this evening. Okay, before we move on to number 8, let's go back to number 4 and see if our appellant is here.
We do not have anyone in person and no one is on Zoom. We did call, leave voicemails, emails, and text messages and have not heard back from the appellant.
Was that done during the meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's right. Reached out.
So can we entertain a motion for how we want to handle that? We can either postpone it to the next meeting, or we can discuss it now and make a decision as to the case.
I know I'm popular when I say this, but I would like to make a motion to postpone this to the next meeting.
I'll second it.
Then we have discussion.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Discussion on the motion
I'm
to
the hard
postpone.
ass. This homeowner has had. How many ever weeks? Since he or she filed the appeal. Has known about this hearing date. Has the Zoom information. Has a number of attempts that the city has made to for this individual to be heard. I wonder what the remedy is if we were to simply default this appellant and uphold the citations on the grounds that the appellant didn't bother to show. Now, maybe the appellant has a good reason, but what would the remedies be if they decided to challenge that?
So I don't believe it would be appropriate for the board to default it in the sense that you would be, like if someone doesn't show up to court, right? If the board, as I mentioned earlier, I don't have any concerns with the board proceeding with voting on this from a my primary concern ordinarily when an appellant is not present would be due process concerns because you are taking away a property right to, to be able to conduct these short-term rentals. The concern is, does that constitute a due process concern? But here, it's clear that the appellant had actual notice, it sounds like city staff has evidence that, the appellant had notice of the hearing, had opportunity to be here. All that due process requires is that an appellant has an opportunity to be heard. They had that, they were aware of the time of the meeting, the date of the meeting, and city staff actually, both city staff and the board actually went above and beyond, right? The board allowed consideration of the item to be moved further down in the agenda, which it was under no obligation to do. City staff had no obligation to make multiple attempts to contact the appellant. So I have no concerns on that perspective, but just to clarify what the board would be doing at that point is the board should still, you've heard testimony from the city, you've heard testimony, you've asked questions of the city. Your process at that point would be, if you choose not to continue the item, would be to make a decision based on the evidence that you have. You have not only staff's testimony and staff's report, but you have all the written materials that have been provided to you either by the city staff or by the appellant, and you can still have discussion on that evidence as well.
Thank you. I'm okay
Please.
continuing it, but I wouldn't want to do it more than once. How many times are we going to accommodate somebody who doesn't show up?
I agree with you on that. I mean, I'm just hoping that nothing has happened to this gentleman,
Well, we all hope that.
And sometimes, things happen, there could have been an accident or something, so that's why I just want to give him the benefit of the doubt to the next meeting, that's my request.
I agree, and that's why I asked about remedies.
Yeah.
What he or she could do, but I'm amenable to postponing the hearing if it's just for a one time.
That's what I would recommend, one time.
I think that's the motion on the floor, right, to next month.
I make a motion that we defer this case until the next meeting of October 25th, am I correct on the date?
I think we already did that.
Okay.
I think we're second on the floor too.
There was a second.
Yeah.
That's the second.
Board Secretary, please call the roll. So I was getting to it.
Board Member Herman,
Aye.
Vice Chair Parker,
Aye.
Board Member Hein,
Aye.
Board Member Stasek.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0 to postpone the meeting to the hearing to the October meeting.
Yeah, to continue the item too.
I apologize, to continue.
And please do put in your minutes that you did try to attempt to reach him during this meeting, that you've reached out, and we did much more due diligence on our end.
And for the record, when we do postpone it, I do let them know that it will be heard at the October meeting with or without you. So that they are aware of that.
Thank you. That was good discussion. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll move on to number 8. I am going to suggest, I don't know if we have to make a motion, that we postpone this item as well, since we have 2 full-time board members that are not present for this discussion, and I think they probably should be here. I don't know if you guys had a chance to take a look at that, what we're loosely proposing, but I think it would be beneficial if the chair was here and also board member Corin to have that discussion. Anybody opposed to moving that to next month? Do we have to move to do that?
I recommend just making a motion. To
Okay.
do that item.
I'll make a motion that we continue that to the October meeting, number 8.
Second,
Board Secretary, please take the roll.
Vice Chair Parker,
Aye.
Board Member Hein.
Aye.
Board Member Herman,
Aye.
and Board Member Stasek.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0 to continue the item to the October meeting.
Thank you. The next item is number 9, which is the approval of the minutes from the meetings of May 22nd, 2024, June 26th, 2024, July 24th, 2024, and August 28th, 2024. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from May 22nd, June 26th, July 24th, and August 28th.
Second.
Board Secretary, please call the roll.
Board Member Herman.
Aye.
Board Member Hein.
Aye.
Board Member Stasek.
Aye.
And Vice Chair Parker.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0.
Next item is number 10, board member comments and requests. This portion of the meeting is set aside for general comments, announcements, requests of staff, and or other issues of concern from members of the Administrative Appeals Board. Anybody have anything here?
I do.
Go for it. Good, I'm glad you did.
This is only my third meeting. But in 2 of those meetings, there have been votes that were not unanimous. And I get that, and that's how boards work. I would like a little more discussion when someone is not voting with the majority, because I wanna make sure everybody is heard. And I've seen 12 angry men, you've seen 12 angry men. I think particularly when there's a motion to uphold a citation or a violation, I would appreciate that after the motion is seconded, that there's an opportunity for discussion before the vote. So I think it's just a point of order, but I'm always willing to hear what people say.
Yeah, and I don't know if we have the authority to change that order of that, right? Because we do have a discussion period before we go to vote. Right, and that's why I said this time at our first one, in the first case, I said, this is the time for each of us to discuss and surface any differences of opinion that we may have. Because I'm with you, I think we had one recently in the last month that was kind of surprising.
Yes.
And so I think surfacing that during the discussion is important, because you may have a point that I didn't consider, or vice versa, right? And so surfacing that discussion, so we kind of know where everybody is, and it's okay to not agree, but we want to have that discussion before we call for a motion. So I would agree with you.
Can you not, is discussion appropriate after there's a second motion? I don't have my Robert's Rules of Orders on it, but I've always understood that there could be more discussion.
There can, and the board actually operates under Rosenberg's Rules of Order,
Okay.
Yes, that's surprising, typically, a lot of boards do operate under Roberts, but the board operates under Rosenberg's Rules of Order. It does provide more flexibility, for meetings such that you can have discussion after the motion. There are certain motions that you cannot have discussion for, but if the motion is to uphold the violation, you would be able to have that. You would be able to have a discussion regarding the motion. I think it would be more appropriate to have a discussion as to the merits of the case before the motion is made.
I agree. But I don't, but yeah, the surprise, I don't want, I don't want to know what people are thinking after we've had the vote. You know what I'm saying? So, just a thought.
Yeah. So I think we can all do a better job at sort of categorizing what our position is during that discussion time before we get to vote. And then and then getting to the, the motion, and if you still disagree, then you don't vote in the affirmative or with the majority. Yeah. Anything else? Did that help?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and I
Okay.
think we all sort of feel that way.
Yeah.
During discussion, I think it's helpful to get a sense of what I'm not getting. or
Yeah.
What,
Well, we're still getting to know each other. So I
Yes.
think we're like
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Chair Booker,
Yeah.
I would recommend if the board wants to have a more extended discussion as to process, I would recommend that be agendized for the next meeting or
Okay.
for a following meeting. Just because this discussion was not agendized and, transitory, brief comments can be made and a brief discussion I think is acceptable. But if it sounds like there may be more discussion, desired, and so if that is the case, I would recommend that be agendized for a future meeting.
Do you feel like more discussion is desired?
I don't. This
Okay.
was just an observation.
Okay, okay. I think we'll probably be getting into the flow from now on, the book.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Anybody else? Anything else? Okay,
Just want to make a quick formal comment. Glad to meet you all. I'm glad to be here today.
Thanks for coming.
And I don't wish any board member to miss a meeting, but in the event it happens, hope to meet the two missing folks one of these days.
well, thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
So this is your first meeting ever.
Yes, yeah. So I'm
Welcome.
real green, but I'm happy to be here.
Item number 11, I'm sorry, was there anything else? This is city attorney's reports and comments. This time is set aside for the city attorney to update the board on any important matters initiated by staff or previously requested by the board. Mr. Galvin Sanchez, do you have anything to report?
Yeah, I wanted to report to the board that the city attorney's office was made aware of a request by staff, regarding the process, for, during hearings. The current process that the board adheres to is set out in the rules of procedure. As you might be familiar, it calls for a staff report and then your questions to staff. And then at that point, the hearing is open, the appellant has the opportunity to speak, you call for public comment. If there is public comment, the rules of procedures state that the appellant has a rebuttal period. And that staff also, technically the respondent, which is defined in the code as the agency that's bringing the action to be appealed. So for all intents and purposes, staff has a rebuttal period at that point. The question that was raised to the city attorney's office is whether, as a matter of procedure, staff should be able to give a final comment irrespective of whether there has been public testimony and rebuttal by the appellant. So I did look into that issue in order to advise the board as to what the correct process is under the rules as adopted now. And my recommendation, my findings were that, you know, as currently set out, the rules do set the specific order, and the board should adhere to that, which means that staff rebuttal and appellant rebuttal is only there once, you know, public testimony is received. And staff rebuttal is only there once the appellant has provided their rebuttal. That's just the order that is set forth in the currently adopted rules of procedure, and so the board should not deviate from that at this time. However, if the board wishes to consider that issue, the board would likely be in its discretion to amend the rules of procedure to set out a different procedure, right? If you want to allow staff to have that rebuttal, that has been their request. The reason why I think it would be allowable to do that is because nothing in the code specifically requires the hearing to be de novo, which means that, you know, it's basically staff has to prove up the violation again. And so I don't think there's no impediment to that. Just my recommendation at this time is that the process that is currently set out should be adhered to unless the rules are amended. And which is something that the board would have to initiate if you want to amend your rules of procedure.
So we would have to agendize that for discussion and then go through the process to amend that. Yeah,
That's correct.
Okay, can I better understand the request though? So, because I thought that maybe I'm misunderstanding. So the appellant speaks, if someone from the public wants to speak, they speak after 3 minutes. The appellant then gets a 2-minute rebuttal period, if I'm correct. And then the city can rebut the rebuttal, right?
Correct. And so the request from, I believe and staff may have further comments, but I believe the request, at least as far as I understood it, was during the previous meeting, there was no public testimony, and therefore there was no appellate rebuttal, and therefore there was no staff rebuttal. Staff had the desire to make a final comments, you know, in response to the appellant's comments, and the questions that were directed at the appellant. So the request from staff, as I understand it, is that staff be given an opportunity to present that final comment, irrespective of the appellant's rebuttal or the public testimony. And so that's the request. And as I said, I don't see any legal impediment to doing so. There's nothing in the code that I think would preclude that. But that would require an amendment to the rule of procedure, in my opinion.
So to paraphrase what you're saying, this is just for my benefit again. Appellant speaks. The request is for the city then to be able to rebut the appellant's testimony, even if there's no public comments.
Essentially, yes. I understand.
Okay. Can we ask questions?
I would not.
We'd have to agendize
I
it.
would recommend that you agendize this discussion. And yes, because there may be a desire to comment on it.
Okay. What do we think?
I think it's a fair request.
So let's put it on a future agenda for discussion and have the staff bring forward the request. So do I hear a motion to do that?
I will make a motion that we agendize the staff request for their rebuttal comments after the appellant. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, I think at that point, staff can present their request more accurately than maybe I was able to define it. But at that point, staff can submit their request that can be on the agenda, and the board can consider the request as staff is actually making it.
Can I ask another question before we get to a second? If we entertain that request, let's say we have discussion, yes, it's approved. Are we under any obligation to have the appellant rebut the rebuttal from the city?
So that gets back to the point I was making earlier, right? So usually if the hearing were required by the code to be de novo, that basically means that it's a brand new case, right? The staff would need to prove up the violation that it occurred, as opposed to the appellant, it being, you know, a lower standard of evidence, right? Which is just that, you know, you can have varying standards of evidence, but for example, a lower standard from that is just substantial evidence, where staff just has to say that you just have to find that there's substantial evidence, which is usually 50+1, that the violation occurred. So you may want to consider that in turn, you know, whether that would be something that you would like to do or not. But because the code does not currently require that, then I don't believe that there would be any legal obligation to then provide the appellant another bite at the apple. Unless you change that to, you know, unless your recommendation is that, you know, the hearings be de novo, in which case you typically would have that, you know, you would typically have the first item presented also be the last to speak.
Okay, thank you.
At that point, you know, once you determine what you would like to do, I'm happy to assist with the drafting and with the language that you need to
Okay,
achieve the board's intention.
okay. Thank you. All right, so we have a motion.
Second.
Board secretary, will you call?
Board Member Herman,
Aye.
Board Member Stasek.
Aye.
Board Member Hein.
Aye.
And Vice Chair Parker.
Aye.
Passes 4-0 to agendize.
I think we just need to make sure it's clear in the minutes that your position is that we leave things as is. Did I say that right?
Yeah, my,
Your recommendation.
my opinion to the board is that you cannot operate differently based on the currently adopted rules of procedure.
And just for the record, we do action minutes. So our formal minutes would be the video, if you have questions in regards to what happened throughout the meeting. But on our minutes, which were adopted by council back in 2021 or 2019, we do action minutes. So it's just like what happened on the action. So on the minutes, you'll see that
Oh,
this
this
was
was
a
upheld.
motion to
This was-
agendize.
okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
If you have, sorry, just one last thing, if the board has questions as to the merits of this, legal questions as to, you know, whether it's acceptable or not, I'm happy to answer those questions during that discussion.
Okay,
This is just, I wanted to inform you of what the request was and what my opinion is based on the current rules of procedure.
thank you. Thanks for clarity. That'll be a good discussion. Okay, number 12, city clerk's report and future meeting dates.
Next meeting is October 23rd at 5:30. Just let me know if anybody will be absent. That's it.
Okay, that being it, the time is 7:25 and the meeting is adjourned.